Hello, we are with Sam and Tina at the Fenner Nature Center and Rue. And we are going to learn about the Maple Syrup Festival that's happening next weekend, March 20th and the 21st. We're super excited. Thank you for being here, both of you. And can you give us an overview of the festival? I know there's so many things that happen and
Absolutely. So it's a very family-friendly event. It will be from 11 to 3 on both days. We have so much going on. We have all-you-can-eat pancakes, different flavored maple syrup items. So we have maple tea, maple cream. We have freshly spun maple cotton candy. Just the whole day is full of really fun games, activities, and things that people can come out here to do. We are currently out in the maple grove right now where all the trees are tapped for maple sap, and here you'll learn a lot about the sugaring process and how that sap is turned and boiled into syrup, which we call sugaring.
and what kind of and just tell us about what kind of ages is this event for?
So I honestly think it's for all ages. There's something for everybody here. We have a lot of games for the kids here that they could try, or activities, as I would like to say. We have over 4.5 miles of trails that people can explore and walk here. There's the visitor center. A lot of our animal ambassadors are in there and people love to meet them. There's just so much to do, and you can also learn more at mynaturecenter.org/MSF.
Thank you. We can't wait to check it out. And I heard there's professional pancake flippers.
Yes, we have Guinness World Record pancake flippers, Chris Cakes here. They're our partners. We worked with them many times before, and you have to catch your pancakes. So it's not just simply all you can eat pancakes, but you have to be able to catch them on your plate. They will be flipping them all over. It'll be all over in the tent.
How fun. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem.
So you can tell I'm not a professional.
It's okay. You're not professionals either. It's all good.
All right, Sam, you're the education director at Fenner Nature Center,
Yep.
and we would love to know more about maple syrup.
Sure. Well, I could talk for days about it because I'm a maple geek when it comes to this stuff. I just absolutely love it. It's such an amazing process, and for people that are living in the northern hemisphere, especially around the Great Lakes or around New England and around Canada, it's part of our heritage. It's stuff that has been going on here for centuries and centuries. It's just such an amazing process. When we have our festival over here at Fenner Nature Center, besides being able to provide maple products and have fantastic pancake flippers and have all these amazing different demonstrations, we like to highlight the process of the whole maple sugaring event. So if people have not had an opportunity to see how this whole thing really works, that's one of the aspects that we really like to try to highlight during the festival. So here out in the Maple Grove, we have a bunch of our trees that are tapped. All these trees are sugar maples. There's a bunch of different types of trees that you can tap, and a bunch of different types of maples that you can tap as well. Sugar maples typically have the highest amount of sugar content in the sap to begin with. So when it boils down, it doesn't take a super long time to boil down. You're still going from a sap concentration of about 98% water, 2% sugar, to a concentration of about 67% sugar and about 33% water. So it takes a long time to do that. But we like to show people how the trees are tapped. We'll show people how to pick your tree. There's certain parameters that you want to make sure if you're going to find your maple tree and tap your maple tree. You want to make sure the tree is big enough. You want to make sure you're tapping at the right side of the tree, the right height, the right depth. And then making sure that as you have your sap coming out, that it stays good and clear and it doesn't start to spoil on you. Because when this whole sugaring process, there's a temperature window that you have to go with. And sometimes you'll be tapping in January, depending on the temperature. Sometimes you'll be tapping in March. But as soon as it starts getting to that threshold where you're having consistent days where it's over like 60 degrees all the time, usually the tree is pulling in extra nutrients and extra elements that are going to help it photosynthesize and grow and do the things a tree does. So at that point right there, the sap is really no longer that good to use for syrup process, but great for the tree for the growing process.
And how much will you get out of one tree?
So typically the way that I kind of learned is that for a typical season for one tree with one tap, you're pretty much getting enough sap to make approximately 1 liter to possibly 2 liters of maple syrup. So if you're in the grocery store and you see like 1 liter bottle of syrup, a good way to think of it is one tree, one tap, one season, 1 liter. And that's pretty much what you get. So
pretty amazing.
It's cool. It's an amazing process. I mean, we'll fill up these buckets. If we wanted to fill this whole bucket with maple syrup, we would need 40 buckets of these filled with sap to boil down just to make that one bucket of maple syrup, which is kind of pretty
You
cool.
really need
So
to appreciate maple syrup.
you really do. You really, really do. It's a fantastic process. And depending on the time of the year, because people have asked, I've seen light syrups, I've seen, amber syrups and darker syrups. A lot of it has to do with that boiling process, because the longer sugar stays on heat, the more it's going to caramelize. So if you're starting out at the beginning of the season where the sap has a very high concentration of sugar, it's not going to have to stay on that heat as long as it would towards the end of the season where there's a smaller concentration of sugar. So beginning of the season typically gives you a lighter syrup, towards the end gives you a darker syrup. Which, if you're growing up here in Michigan, we like that dark syrup.
Yeah,
It's nice, good dark amber syrup. Yeah.
And when families come out, what can they expect to wander around, and what are
Absolutely.
things?
So the whole area, all the way from our Davis Nature Pavilion in the front of our visitor center, all the way out here in the Grove, there's activities, there's products for sale, there's a little bit of everything. Out here in the Grove, we're going to have our evaporator building open up. So right inside that red building behind you, we will have our evaporator set up and actually boiling sap to syrup. We typically will even have a secondary station out here where we're boiling down from syrup down to sugar. So occasionally we'll even make fresh maple sugar out here going past
Must be a kid's favorite.
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible to watch. We will have different aspects of kind of the maple sugaring process through time, using everything from copper kettles to flat pans all the way up to modern evaporators, just talking about all those different processes. You'll have activities like making your own spiles, so the tap that you would put inside the tree. So we'll have those where kids can create and make their own spiles out here. We talk about the different animals that utilize as well. As much as we like that sap, I mean, you can see right around here, there's ants, there's flies, there's a lot of the insect activity out here. But we even have a few trees. If you look up just a little bit further up this tree, right to here, and if you see this little line going across here, this is from a yellow-bellied sapsucker. So it is a woodpecker species that specifically, as opposed to like going through the wood and looking for the insects, it's all about the sap. So it'll actually go, and you can think of this as like a line where there's almost little straws, little capillaries in the tree that go up, and it goes in lines that go around the tree as opposed to going down, so it can hit a different little capillary and grab fresh sap all the way around the tree.
It's fascinating.
So it's pretty cool.
What are your top 3 favorite maple products?
Oh, top 3 favorite maple products. I mean, maple syrup is by far the best with that one right there. Maple sugar is amazing. So putting a little bit of maple sugar, if I'm drinking coffee, which is not all the time, but if I'm drinking coffee, taking a little bit of that maple sugar and actually putting it on top of the grounds before you put that in your coffee maker, that's absolutely perfect. And a fantastic maple tea. Those are definitely my top 3 with it right there. But I do have to say my favorite to actually make or seen made is maple taffy. So if you were to take maple syrup, because there's a bunch of products out there like hard maple candies, soft maple candies, maple cream, it's all just maple syrup. There's nothing else added to it.
The way it's processed.
Just depends on how you cook it. So there's a product called maple taffy, or if you grew up in the north, sugar on snow. So it's a way that you take maple syrup and you boil it down to remove even more water. And then you take that hot maple syrup and you ladle it onto, say, like a sheet pan full of really ice cold snow or ice. And then it starts to rapidly cool and solidify, and you can grab a little popsicle stick and roll it up, just like taffy.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely fantastic.
Right behind you.
Is there right now?
It's behind that tree now. But
Of course it is. Well, good. I need one for my birding list anyway, Tina. That's perfect.
Good eye. Yeah.
So yeah, fantastic maple products. We used to, like in northern Vermont, we'd always have like a big sugaring, sugar on snow, festival and stuff like that. So yeah, so much fun. So, and we'll do some of those demonstrations out here as well. We'll have, sometimes we do maple cream demonstrations, maple taffy demonstrations, maple candy demonstrations. We'll have to come and see which one we're doing.
For everyone.
There is. It's absolutely incredible.
All right. So. Thank you so much, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fun.
See, Julie, this is why I have